This week, DeWALT redefines the tool battery.
They also take on Milwaukee twice, and Devin tells us who the PACKOUT rolling toolbox is for. It's no one.
Those stories and more on the Power Tool Week in Review. Today's episode is brought to you by Ohio Power Tool, Pro Tools, Pro Service at the best prices at ohiopowertool.com. And Ego, power beyond belief. Welcome back, Power Tool fans. I'm Rob.
And I'm Sarah, and we have a ton to share with you this week. And it all starts with a trip Rob and I took last week to Baltimore. We were there for a secret event held by DeWALT where they would reveal something.
I thought it was going to be a trike.
It was not. And after revealing that something, we couldn't tell you about it until the 25th. But just as we were getting on the bus to ride to the event, they told us there was no embargo. And we were free to stream live, so we did. If you haven't watched those live videos yet, or our event video,
spoiler alert,
DeWALT revealed an all-new type of 20-volt battery that utilizes lithium-ion pouches instead of the traditional cylindrical cells that we're used to. The results? Smaller, lighter batteries that can deliver up to 50% more power on demand. To show them off, they ran a few, let's call them brand tests. And DeWALT won!
No way!
You were there. For now, they've only revealed a single 1.7 amp hour battery, but they assure us more are to come. Is this the future of DeWALT?
No, that would be a trike.
We shall see. You really wanted it to be a trike, didn't you?
Yes, I really did. Speaking of huge disappointments, Jim over at PhillyFixed shared another fantastic head-to-head, this time putting the new DeWALT DCF850 up against its M18 fuel rival.
That doesn't sound disappointing.
It wasn't the test, it was his shirt. I just don't have words. You know, you think you know a guy, then that guy goes and has a really hurtful shirt made that feels really targeted. Then that guy isn't your friend anymore, and you deal with it by sticking extra Milwaukee 1-key tracking stickers on all your Makita tools just to dull the pain.
Wait, what?
All right, in more predictable news, turns out Jim doesn't want to do this YouTube thing anymore.
That's not true.
It's probably D-handle poisoning, so there's no reason to go to his channel anymore. Unless you want to unsubscribe to clear up your queue, then feel free to do that. Blessed be the barrel grip, Jim.
Okay, that's enough of that. Let's lighten up the mood and wrap up our DeWALT coverage with the eternally upbeat crew over at the TorqueTestChannel, which, by the way, earlier this week they shared a few more clues about their identity. We already knew that there were 3, and they go by the names Torque, the narrator, Test, the dude who does the testing, and Channel, who, as it turns out, is actually Torque's wife.
No way!
But that's all we know, so now I'm left to make up the rest of their story, and I'll be honest, I don't think Channel is really happy with how often Test leaves out his tools, but doesn't really know how to confront him, so she makes Torque do it, and then he just has...
All right, enough. Get to the video.
Oh, okay, right. This week they take their first look at the DeWALT Mid-Torque DCF894, a 4-year-old sample from the Jurassic period, which doesn't actually claim very big numbers on the box and forces it to race against the Milwaukee Gen 2 Mid-Torque 2962. And the Craftsman because why not? And no spoilers, but no 4-year-old should be that good. I'm just saying.
Moving on to Milwaukee, Vince set out this week to answer the age-old question, which vac is better, the little Milwaukee M18 or the ever so slightly littler Milwaukee M18? Specifically, the M18 cordless 2-gallon wet-dry HEPA vacuum or the M18 Fuel PACKOUT cordless 2.5-gallon wet-dry vacuum. At first glance, these two vacs are really similar, besides the obvious half-gallon difference. These both use the same filter, they're both about the same size, and both claim to have the same 30-minute runtime, but as Vince points out, they come with very different batteries. After a ton of scientific research, the M18 Fuel PACKOUT version reveals a small bump in power, and coupled with its natural compatibility with the PACKOUT system, we can't see why you wouldn't pick that one. But Vince has some additional advice worth checking out before you make that decision.
To wrap up our Milwaukee reviews, we get to head over to the DeWALT, home to power tool reviews, automotive tips, knives, footwear, and the world's most comfortable hoodies. Seriously. But this week, our buddy Devin Durbin was one of the lucky few to get his hands on the all-new Milwaukee PACKOUT rolling chest. This is a new double-wide format for the PACKOUT system, and as Devin learns, it can get really heavy really fast. He filled it with several nailers he uses on the job and found himself wondering if it would really even make sense to stack additional boxes on top, and I can see why. And as we've pointed out before, if you put additional packs on top, you can't really open the thing without removing them first. Even after putting the thing to actual work, Devin decided it's definitely not for everyone, and if you want to know if it's right for you, you'll have to head over to the DeRubinCompound.
Once again, we found ourselves over at the SparkyChannel, where we've just come to terms with the fact that we'll be watching anything that Bill posts. It's impossible not to be both entertained and educated with every video, and this one's no different. This is the all-new Klein 93 PPL, rechargeable, self-leveling, green planar laser level. It projects independently or together in X, Y, and Z planes, and it has an integrated magnetic mounting bracket for your tripod, IP54 water and dust resistance, and a rechargeable lithium-ion battery that will power it for up to 9 hours. It comes in a convenient hard case with your charging cable, the mounting bracket, and instructions. Bill also details the features of Klein's new tripod. He wraps up his video with a flight over Hoover Dam in a helicopter, mainly to make the rest of us feel bad for not having a helicopter. That's just my guess. For the full review of Klein's new laser level, head over to the SparkyChannel. Now, STAFDA is next week, so we won't have a regular show next Friday. We will be posting several shorts from the expo, and we'll be sharing a ton of new content when we get back.
There were, however, several more videos we wanted to feature this week, but we ran out of time. So before we go, we're going to put them into a mini midweek episode that will go out while we're gone. And we hope that you enjoy it.
Special thanks to Ego and Ohio Power Tool for sponsoring this episode. Guys, we couldn't do it without you.
If you liked the episode, give it a thumbs up. And if you loved it, we hope that you subscribe.
Do something kind for someone else this weekend, and we'll see you next week.